Hi everyone. Probably everyone who has ever played games know that they can bring not only positive emotions and a good mood, some games just... Well, today we've picked for you the most annoying and difficult games that can drive anyone up the wall. Of course, maybe some of our viewers will find these games not quite annoying or even easy. Well, as they say, everyone has their own helicopter mission. Let's get it on. TRex Chrome game. If you use Google Chrome then, well, you feel sorry for your RAM, but that's not what we're talking about. If you use Google Chrome, you've probably already played this minigame featuring the Pixel Dino. If your internet connection is lost, you're able to control the T-Rex jumping over the cacti and dodging pterodactyls. This Easter egg was first found by Francois Beaufort on September the 25th, 2014. The game is very simple. The dinosaur can only jump and dodge, and the speed of its movement increases with time. At some point, the day turns into night and back. So why could this harmless game be so annoying? Well, as much as you try to reach the end, this will never happen. Even after spending long hours at the white screen, you won't get to the final boss or get a large number of points. All of this is just pointless. The game's infinite, and in the most inappropriate moments, the internet can suddenly come back and it's just... Flappy Bird. May 24th, 2013, Flappy Bird debuted in the App Store. According to its creator, Vietnamese designer and developer Dong Nguyen, he only spent a few days working on the bird. By December the 13th, the game broke into the top 250 free apps in the USA and the top 80 US games, and Twitter users filled the internet with messages expressing their frustration and even hatred because Flappy Bird was incredibly difficult. By February the 1st, 2014, Flappy Bird became the #1 free game in the App Store in 53 countries, and on February the 6th, Apple even posted a tweet about the success of the game in its official account. Apparently, every single smartphone user in the world had played this game with the bird flying between the pipes and started hating it. One awkward movement and the bird falls or crashes into a pipe. And it's difficult even to imagine how many gadgets were broken in anger, and only Dong Nguyen is to blame. Later, the developer admitted that, despite the success of the game, which brought him a lot of money, Flappy Bird ruined his life. Dong regularly received tweets full of hatred. He was threatened. In the end, he decided that it was time to end this, and removed the official version of the game. But if you want to feel some real anger and undisguised hatred, you can always download one of the clones of Flappy Bird and enjoy almost the same atmosphere. Cat Mario. Even people who are far from computer games must know the Super Mario Bros.
It's a me, Mario! Woohoo!
This video game, developed and released in 1985 by the Japanese company Nintendo, is listed in the Guinness Book of Records as the best-selling game in history.
Bring, bring, bring.
However, it's not this game we're going to talk about. In February 2007, a Super Mario Bros. Parody appeared, using similar elements and in general looking about the same, except for a couple of major details. First, the main character of Cat Mario is not an Italian mustachioed plumber, but a white cat. Secondly, everything can be a trap. A mushroom? Well, you might die after eating it, or you may not. A white fish may appear from any pipe, or not. Hidden blocks that appear if you hit them, well, they're able to brick up the character. The ceiling may fall, or the floor. On the platforms, spikes grow. Enemies fall from above. Seemingly harmless objects turn out to be deadly dangerous. The game only has 4 levels, but despite the fact that the location of the traps doesn't change when you play again, it's not much help. However, it is impossible to spend all of your lives and lose. After you lose the initial 3 points, the score will simply become negative. By the way, for those who find the rules of the game too easy, there is a secret mode, which is activated by pressing 0 at the main menu. In this mode, all objects are randomly generated, so the level can become impassable. Geometry Dash. This colourful series of arcade games released in 2013 consists of 38 levels with unique background music. No complicated stories either. You're a bright square that moves forward with constant speed through various obstacles. Of course, you need to jump or dodge the obstacles. In other words, do whatever it takes to get to the end of the level. It sounds not that difficult, but the speed of the square is really high, and once the square hits one of the obstacles, the level starts over again, every single time. No save points. Deal with this as you can. Sometimes the cube turns into a spaceship, a ball, a flying saucer, and other items, some of them available only in certain versions of the game. The further the player manages to pass, the harder the levels become, and there's no regular division into easy, medium, and difficult, so you can imagine how bad this is. Oh no, after difficult there's harder, insane, and even demon. How long would you last? I Wanna Be the Guy. An adventure 8-bit platformer. Do you feel nostalgic already? I Wanna Be the Guy was released in 2007, and since then has managed to earn the title of the most difficult and hated game in history. It seems that even the design of the levels is trying to make you go bananas. Most gaming locations are designed to kill your character, despite his efforts to survive. In addition to traditional hazards such as spikes and pits, there are others, less visible, most of which are impossible to overcome without knowing about them in advance. Everything, literally everything in this game can kill you, especially in those moments when it seems that the worst is behind you, and now you can finally relax a bit. Everyone who managed to get through I Wanna Be the Guy is a hero, and we don't even know anyone that could compete with them in coolness. Gravity Defied. Unlike other games on our list, this one is a simulator for mobile phones, but everyone who at least once tried to play it knows that Gravity Defied deserves a place in today's video. The design and the essence of the game are extremely simple. You have to drive a motorcycle on a two-dimensional track without falling off your bike, but these are the only simple things. You have to take into account the characteristics of the highway, gravity, sharp corners, speed, and your own skills, because one awkward movement and the little biker could easily fall off, even on a completely flat surface. Perhaps this game can teach the user two things: patience for one, and the fact that phones are very easy to break if you throw them at the wall. Battletoads. How difficult can a game be where you have to play for Battletoads? Oh, if you've played Battletoads, well, you know what it's like. The heroes, whose main goal is to kill all and defeat the Dark Queen, can attack with hands and feet, and use weapons like sticks and grenades. Sounds too normal, but what about the lack of save points? When your health bar is down to 0, you'll find yourself back at the start again. You have to pass the whole game again, and again, and again, and again. Contra. How about a character dying, like in real life, because of a single bullet? 3 lives, lots of enemies that can change depending on the level, and are completely unpredictable. Awesome bosses. You could have all this already in the late 80s, in a truly cult game known as Contra, and it was freaking difficult to play. Only truly strong people coped with all the levels. However, nothing's impossible with proper skill. It's said that you can pass the whole game without killing a single enemy, except the bosses, in 9.5 hours. No, we don't know how anyone could come up with that.
Counter-terrorists win.
VVVVVV. At first glance, this game is no different from other platformers. There is a character that needs to get to the target, and there are a lot of obstacles standing in their way. The game takes place on a spaceship which happens to crash, resulting in all the crew members scattered around the map. The main character, Captain Viridian, who is controlled by the user, obviously needs to save everyone. The small figure of the captain doesn't have any weapons. Moreover, he cannot jump. Instead, the hero must change the gravity vector. In other words, move from the floor to the ceiling and back. And it's not so easy when there are spikes everywhere, strange ghosts and creatures that are generally quite difficult to describe. At first it seems that the game is fun. Half an hour and a couple of dozen deaths later, you start to feel enthusiastic and excited. Several hours later, you want to break the monitor. Of course, the game is interesting. It's colourful and looks like an old-school platformer. VVVVVV was released in 2010, so it's actually quite modern though, but it's extremely frustrating. Getting over it. Perhaps this game, released in 2017, is the most modern among all others on our list. Well, at least it's 3D. Everything else is pretty strange though. You have to play as a silent man named Diogenes, who's sitting in a cauldron. Okay, well why not? Diogenes has a hammer in his hands, which he can use to cling to objects and move. In general, that's the whole game. Using the mouse or the touchpad, the player moves the character, helping him to climb steep hills. And, you know, controlling a person sitting in a cauldron is quite difficult. One wrong move and you can fall from any high point right to the bottom. Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, it's impossible to die in getting over it. But when you spend a few hours trying to overcome a huge section of the mountain and then suddenly find yourself at the beginning, no saving points, no cheats, no tools, only a hammer, only Diogenes in the cauldron, only hardcore. The author of the game, Bennett Foddy, admitted that in the weeks leading up to the release, he was trying to play through it to make sure there weren't too many bugs, but he himself couldn't beat it. Foddy says he felt tensing up and was too careful, but then it took him just 34 minutes to help Diogenes to get to the top. Dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and can't imagine your life without robots around you? Then visit TechZone and you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.